Hey everybody, it's Nixon Styles here, and today we're here to do a Project Supremacy review. So, what is Project Supremacy 2.0? Project Supremacy 2.0 is a new WordPress plugin created by internet marketing gurus Herc Magnus and Todd Spears. If you're not familiar with these guys, you can look them up, but these guys, they're pretty awesome. I first became familiar with them through the Rich Jerk program. These guys, they're affiliated with all those guys over there. And by the way, if you guys haven't seen or heard of the Rich Jerk, I highly recommend you checking them out and checking out what those guys are doing over there. I can't say enough about Kelly, Pyong, and the rest of those guys over there in RJ land. That's some pretty awesome stuff. So, Project Supremacy 2.0 claims that it will once again make SEO the most important factor when it comes to ranking your website on the first page of Google. These guys are claiming that this plugin will even give a complete newbie the ability to blow the competition right out of the water by ranking your page higher than everybody else. How does Project Supremacy 2.0 work? If you haven't heard by now, the use of structured data using schema and JSON LD on your website is an absolute must. You're going to need to use this stuff if you're planning on having any type of success in the organic search results with Google in 2016 and beyond, guys. This stuff, it isn't going away anytime soon. So what is schema? What is JSON LD? Well, schema's great when you know how to use it. And Google will even tell you themselves that they prefer structured data using schema on your web pages. But the big problem is that schema can be very difficult and very time consuming to learn properly. Most people find it very confusing and they find that they need assistance in getting it set up properly. Now, if you're interested in learning schema or JSON LD, you can check out some of the sites that I have links to below. These sites are going to go into a lot greater detail about structured data, schema, and JSON LD. One of the things that Project Supremacy 2.0 claims is that their plugin is going to set up all that schema, all that structured data that Google search engines know and love so much. It's going to do all that for you. They claim that there's no need to worry about your text being formatted correctly, no need to worry about coding. Project Supremacy 2.0 is going to do all of that for you automatically, just by filling in a few fields and then pushing a button. That's it. They say that it also does image EXIF and everything else Google looks for in your site. It even does content curation for you. And you know, that's great and all. But if you're like me, you're probably skeptic. You've probably been on other sites where they have some kind of secret software or little known weird trick that promises to catapult your website to the top of Google search rankings. Well, if you're like me, you're probably thinking, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Well, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to admit that in the past, I've fallen victim to expensive software that's promised me the world and it's failed to deliver. That's the main reason that I began writing software reviews in the first place. I knew that I couldn't be the only one out there that was tired of being ripped off. So if you're still here watching this, it's obvious to me that you're serious. You're serious about internet marketing and you're determined to find something that's going to give you the boost that you need in the search results in order to start making the money that you deserve. So I'm not going to go into all the details of what this software can do because it does a hell of a lot of things. And you can check out all the other videos here on my site that go into more detail about the features and the demonstrations on how to use Project Supremacy 2.0. But why we're here today is to show you the results. This plugin goes live tomorrow morning, but we were able to get our hands on a copy a little over a week ago, and we put it to the test. And we have the results. So let's get going. Okay, so here we are, and right now we are in McKeesport, PA on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon in February. It's February 16th, to be more precise. It's less than 24 hours before the launch of Project Supremacy 2.0. And like I said, we got our hands on a copy a little over a week ago, and I'm here to tell you the results have been pretty phenomenal, to say the least. So here we are in the Project Supremacy members area. As you can see, it has a lot of training videos available. It has a few pre-recorded hands-on training webinars that you guys can check out. I had the opportunity to be on a couple of those training webinars live, and they were pretty useful, so I definitely recommend checking those out. They include a few bonuses here. We have some testimonials, and then you've got your support. So let's go to the plugin page. And there you have your username and your activation code. You're going to need that information when you first go to activate your plugin. But I want you guys to notice here, right here, it has Project Supremacy compatibility. And it says, please read this before installing Project Supremacy on your client or personal sites to avoid these known issues. Now, I'll let you know that when I first tried to activate the plugin, I did have a compatibility issue. There's something called IonCube that your domain host needs to have enabled in order for Project Supremacy to function properly. IonCube does come enabled by default with most hosting sites. If not, they have instructions available on how to enable IonCube yourself, or you can send a quick message to your host help desk. Simply ask them to enable IonCube, and that should take care of it. I'm using Bluehost on this site, and I had to contact the help desk. It took them 5 minutes to activate it, and then I was ready to go. Okay, so here's my site. As you can see, Project Supremacy is activated down here on the left-hand side. So if we go down to our plugin, you'll see we've got general settings. We've got our project section. That's where we can have separate projects. Here's the big one. We have our schema markup here. And here are the tools for affiliates to use. Here, you can order to have your site's content outsourced directly from inside of the plugin. That comes in handy. If you don't have time to write your content, or maybe you're just lousy at writing content, you can order articles to be written from right inside the plugin. And finally here we have our image converter. So, the page that you're on right now was made using Project Supremacy 2.0. So the one thing that should tell you is that this plugin works. I'm not sure how you found this site, but you found it, didn't you? I'm assuming that you found it using the Google search engines. So that's a start, right? But if you're not sure, let's take a look. 3 of the keywords that I focused on for this review site that you're on right now were Project Supremacy Review, and Project Supremacy Bonus. And the reason I focused on Project Supremacy Bonus is because if you haven't heard already, I'm offering one hell of a bonus to anyone that qualifies to invest in Project Supremacy 2.0 through the link on my site. But we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. So let's take a look here and search for Project Supremacy. Okay, there we go. We're here. We're here on the first page, ranking in about number 4 or 5. So that's just what the doctor ordered for that keyword. And I'll click on that site so you can see that this is indeed my site. Okay. Now, let's take a look and see where we are for Project Supremacy Review. Okay, here we are, right smack dab in a couple of YouTube videos. So basically, we're the highest ranked website for the keywords Project Supremacy Review. And let's search one more time for Project Supremacy Bonus. And what do you know? There we are again, right below a couple of YouTube videos. Once again, the highest ranked website for our keywords. So that's pretty damn amazing, isn't it? We're on first page, top 1 or 2 spots, all on our focus keywords. Now, I'd say that's pretty badass. Now, let's take a look at another site that I have. This site has to do with Google Business and their local business results, or what's called their map pack. A lot of my income is generated by using the rank and rent method. I use that method with a lot of local business niches. Now, if you're not familiar with what the rank and rent method is, the rank and rent method is my personal go-to method. Rank and rent, in a nutshell, is when you create a fictional company, then you create a generic website for that fictional company, and you try to rank that site on the first page of Google or inside the Google Map Pack for any keywords that a company in that industry would want to rank for. Then once you rank that site on the first page of Google, you can rent it out to a local business. And these local businesses are just dying to have their company listed on the first page of Google. Depending on the niche, you can rent out those sites for anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000 a month, each and every month. So I'm sure that you can only imagine the possibilities and imagine the potential to make a whole hell of a lot of money. Because once you install Project Supremacy 2.0 and your site starts popping up on the first page of Google, you're going to be able to do just that. Now, for example, I have a site that I just built that I'm trying to rank, and once I get this baby ranked, I can rent it out to a plumber in Pittsburgh for top dollar. Now check this out. We're going to go to our Google Keyword Planner. We're going to do a search on some keywords for Pittsburgh plumbers. So if we search for Pittsburgh plumber, you can see that there are roughly 90 searches a month, and this keyword suggested bid is $57.32. So that means those guys that are using Google's paid advertising, they're paying $57.32 for every single click onto their website. But if we can get up on the first page of Google, inside that map pack, we're going to be getting a bunch of clicks, which in turn results in a bunch of phone calls, which in turn results in a bunch of business, which produces the final end result, which is a ton of cash. So don't think for 1 second that one of those plumbers wouldn't love to rent a site for $1,000 a month instead of paying almost $60 per click. Even if they're only getting 1 click on their site per day, which may or may not result in a sale, they're paying $1,710 a month just to have 1 click per day onto their site. So now I'm sure you can see how powerful using the rank and rent method can be when using Project Supremacy 2.0 plugin. Now I'm going to show you guys real quick my plumbing site. Now I've only been working on this site for a few weeks, But if and when I get this bad boy up there in the top 3 on the map pack, it's gonna be crazy. So if we Google Pittsburgh plumber, first you can see that there are a whole hell of a lot of plumbers in Pittsburgh. So this is gonna be kind of tough. But at $57.32 per click, it's gonna be well worth it. So if we do a search for Pittsburgh plumber, first we see these poor guys. These guys right here, they're the ones that are paying almost $60 a click. Then you want to scroll down. Then here you go. You have Google's 3-pack business listing. That's where we want to be. That's where the big money is. So we're not in the top 3 yet, but not too bad. Last week, we were ranked at number 119 for the keyword phrase Pittsburgh plumber. But since installing Project Supremacy 2.0, our site has gone from number 119 all the way up to number 20. How about that? The last spot on page 1 of Google Map Pack. Not to mention, that's for a keyword that costs almost $60 a click. So we're doing really well for this site only being around for about 3.5, 4 weeks. And if we search for the keyword plumber that includes Pittsburgh's zip code, something like plumber 15219, bang! There we are, right at number 2, right inside the Google Snack Pack ranking in at number 2. So I think the proof is in the pudding here, ladies and gentlemen. The verdict's in. It looks like Project Supremacy 2.0 kicks some major ass. There's no other way to put it. So do I recommend investing in Project Supremacy 2.0? You bet your ass I do. I'm giving it a 9.5 on my ranking scale. I took a few points off for the compatibility issues that I had when I first downloaded the software, but since then, Project Supremacy 2.0 more than made up for it with its results.